Thinking about selling your home? Well, here's a big mistake I see all too often, and that is sellers spending way too much money, and I mean like thousands of dollars on upgrades that buyers, they just don't care about. The truth is, in today's market, buyers just want a clean, well-maintained home. They are not looking for brand new everything. If they did, they would buy new construction. And if you stay with me until the end, I will tell you the 10 things you should absolutely not replace before selling your home, so you can save money and still walk away with the best offer. Now let's start with one of the most expensive upgrades sellers lose sleep over, and that's the HVAC system. Now, if your system is working, don't rush to replace it. Service it, change the AC filters, and get it professionally cleaned. But most importantly, document it. This way, when the buyers ask, you can show them the records. You can even sweeten the deal with a home warranty, which gives buyers peace of mind but doesn't drain your wallet. But let's be real. If your AC is on its last leg, it's struggling to stay alive, and it fails the inspection, which yes, the inspectors do check the intake and outtake temperatures, then yes, you are going to need to replace it. Buyers are going to expect it, and it's going to come up in the negotiations anyway. The key here is simple. If it's functioning, maintain and document it. If it's failing, go ahead and replace it. That way you can protect your bottom line without wasting money on unnecessary upgrades. Next up is the roof, another big ticket item that stresses sellers out. Here's the deal. If your roof is in good condition and under 20 years old, you don't need to automatically replace it. Yes, there are many documentations about insurance companies wanting a roof less than 10 years old, but that is going away, and now they're having to accept roofs that are over 10 years old. What you should do is maintain it. Have the roof blown off, make sure that the gutters are clean. And I'm not asking you to get up there, hire somebody to do it for you. And while they're up there, they can look for any necessary small repairs that need to be made. This shows the buyers and the inspectors that you are maintaining the roof and you're keeping it in good shape. Now, if your roof is over 20 years old, this is where things get a little tricky. Even if your roof isn't leaking, just because it's over 20 years old, many insurance companies in Florida won't even accept it. That can kill a deal very fast. So if your roof is reaching the 20-year mark or it's over the 20-year mark, you may need to go ahead and replace it just so that your buyer can get insurance, and also will keep your buyer pool very wide. My pro tip is, if you think your roof is going to need to be replaced, go ahead and get some estimates before you list your house. Buyers always assume that a new roof is going to cost a lot more than it actually does. If you have the documentation of what the real numbers are, it's going to keep your negotiations under control. Bottom line, a well-maintained and documented roof is going to pass inspection. But if the roof is over 20 years old, you may need to consider replacing it just to make a deal work. If you're new here, I'm Tammy Broxson, and this is Loki. I make these videos to help sellers who are looking to sell, or sellers who tried to sell but didn't sell the first time. If you're in the Gainesville or Ocala area, I would love to work with you. If you're anywhere else in the United States and you're looking for a top listing agent to help you get your home sold, click the link in the description below. Let's connect, and I'm happy to help you. Now let's talk about windows. This is one of the upgrades that sellers think are going to wow buyers. But here's the reality. Windows are crazy expensive, and most buyers won't pay you back for that investment. Here is what really matters. When home inspectors are checking the windows, they're checking for function. They want to make sure that they open and they close and they lock properly. And if you have double pane windows, they want to make sure that the seal is not broken. They're also looking to make sure that the glass is not cracked or missing. If the windows are working, then you're good to go. So instead of focusing on spending tens of thousands of dollars on new windows, focus on the little things. Repair any broken screens. And if you're missing screens, then go ahead and replace them. Clean the tracks to make sure that the windows glide smoothly, and make sure that all the locks are working. A little maintenance here is going to go a long way. Buyers rarely walk into a house and say,
"Wow, I'm going to pay more because these windows are brand new."
What they do care about is that they're clean, functional, and they are not going to be a future headache. Bottom line, unless your windows are damaged or they don't function, then don't replace them. Repair, clean, and document. That's all you're going to need to do. All right, let's move to the kitchen and the laundry areas, and let's talk about appliances. This is another area that sellers overspend thinking it's going to wow the buyers. It is not. Here's the truth. If your appliances are working, you don't need to replace them with all brand new stainless steel appliances. Most buyers don't expect brand new appliances, especially if you're buying here in Gainesville. What they do expect are clean, working appliances that will not break down a week after closing. So what should you do? First, give them a deep clean so they looked well cared for. Second, if something isn't working quite right, like maybe the dishwasher is just a little too loud or the dryer is taking too long to dry, then have it repaired. Often spending $200 on a repair is going to save you $2,000 from having to buy a new appliance. And third, if the buyer is concerned about the age of the appliances, even though they're all in working order, then you can offer a home warranty to give them peace of mind. A home warranty might set you back between $500 to $900 depending on the plan versus $5,000 to $10,000 for a brand new appliance package. Now here's where a replacement does make sense, and that is when the appliance is absolutely not working. It's dead, it's broken, it's not coming back to life. Or if it's an eyesore that detracts during showings. Like if the focus is, wow, check out that avocado green refrigerator and nobody can get past it, maybe it's time to replace it. Buyers are gonna see it as new, but if you are gonna replace it, go with the mid-range, not a top of the line. Buyers are gonna see it as new, and that's all that's gonna matter. The bottom line here is you don't need to overspend on brand new appliances just to sell your home, especially if they are in good working order and they're clean. Fix, clean, and warranty what you've already got, and only replace what you absolutely have to. Now, let's move into the kitchen and let's talk about the cabinets because it's one of the first things that buyers notice. Here's where sellers often go wrong. You rip out perfectly good cabinets and replace them with all brand new, spending $10,000 to $20,000. The truth is, while it's nice, most buyers are not looking for brand new cabinetry. What they do want is a kitchen that feels clean, updated, and is functional. Instead of replacing, here are your smarter options. Paint or refresh your existing cabinets. A fresh coat of paint in a modern color can completely transform the space. Update the hardware. New pulls and knobs cost very little, but instantly give your cabinets a fresh modern look. And deep clean inside and out. Wipe down the doors, the shelves, and the hinges so that they feel well cared for. Here's the key. Buyers are focusing on the overall vibe of the kitchen, not whether the cabinets are brand new. If they are structurally sound, then don't waste money ripping them out. With some paint, hardware, and some elbow grease, you're gonna get the look that the buyers love without the hefty price tag. If you're starting to feel overwhelmed, you don't have to do this alone. Click on the link in the description below and I will connect you with a top selling agent in your area. Now let's stay in the kitchen for a minute and let's talk countertops. A lot of sellers that I've met think that dropping thousands on a granite or a quartz countertop is going to make their kitchen really stand out and they're going to get their money back. Here's the truth. Most buyers, they're going to love the look, sure, but they are not going to pay you back dollar for dollar on what you spent for those countertops. If your countertops are in decent condition, no cracks, no burn marks, and no pieces missing out of them, then don't replace them. Instead, make them shine. A professional cleaning or a resealing can give older granite countertops a fresh new look. For laminate, you can sometimes get away with a resurfacing kit that costs you a fraction of the price of a replacement. Now, if your countertops are in really bad shapes, there's cracks, there's discoloration, you've got burn marks in there, or there's big old pieces missing and chipped out of it, and it's going to detract the buyers during a showing, then yes, sorry, it's probably going to be best to replace it. But keep it simple. Choose a neutral mid-range option that buyers are going to love. Don't blow your budget on the fanciest material out there. Here's a pro tip. Buyers focus on the overall feel of the kitchen, not the material of the countertop. They just want a kitchen that is clean, functional, and move-in ready. So unless your countertops are damaged or just a terrible eyesore, save your money. A refresh is all you're gonna need. Next up, lighting. And this is one of my favorite quick wins. Here's a mistake I see many sellers make. They think that they need to install recessed lighting everywhere and they need to rewire the entire house for lighting, and you don't. That is going to cost you thousands of dollars, and trust me, buyers are not willing to pay extra for it. What buyers do notice is, does the home feel bright, warm, and inviting? And you can create that without blowing your budget, and here is how. Swap out old, outdated fixtures. Replace that 1990s brass chandelier with a new modern fixture. And this one is the least expensive of them all, and that is update your light bulbs. Switch everything out to LED bulbs. The daylights, those are fantastic. It is going to make a world of difference, trust me. Go ahead and do that and then come back and tell me what you think. Also check every light switch and make sure that it is working. You will be amazed at how many times sellers miss this, but buyers catch it during the showings. Making these little changes is going to have a huge impact. Lighting sets the mood, and buyers form their first impressions right when they walk into the room. Quick story for you. I was helping a girlfriend of mine sell her house, and she liked her house to be very dark. Everything was closed off, and I said, all right, we are gonna have to change out all the light bulbs, and we are gonna go bright daylight bulbs. She did, and I remember her saying to me that she was like, wow, it is so bright in here, and I was like, do not touch those bulbs. Leave those bulbs exactly the way I set them up, and we had an offer in 5 days. What was once a dark, dreary house was suddenly light and bright, and the buyers absolutely loved it. Bottom line here is skip all the recessed lighting and having to rewire for new lighting. Instead, save your money, switch out all your bulbs to bright white or daylight. Just make sure they're new and LED and they all match, and then replace your old outdated light fixtures with modern new ones. This will literally make your home shine without overspending. Now let's move to closets. And this one really surprises a lot of sellers. With so many advertisements out there, it's easy to think that you're going to need to spend hundreds, if not thousands of dollars on closet systems to impress buyers. But here's the truth. Buyers really care about how spacious the closet is and how functional, not if you spent thousands of dollars on a closet system. Funny thing is, I recently sold a house where they had taken all the closet systems out, and we actually sold it without any closet systems in it. You would think that would be a problem, but it wasn't, because the buyer loved how big and spacious the closets were, and they wanted to put in a system that was going to work for them. So here's how you really make a difference. First and foremost, declutter your closet. Remove at least half of what's in there so that buyers can actually see the space. True story, I was working with a seller once, and he wanted to make sure that we photographed the closet. Yes, it was very, very big, but it wasn't standout or special. What it looked like is it looked small, because they had so much stuff crammed into that closet that it looked very, very tiny and cluttered. I finally got them to agree to remove half of the things out of the closet. It immediately looked massive and impressive. Next, it's best to organize simply. Make sure that all of your hangers match. You might be laughing and saying, Tammy, really? But I'm telling you, it's in the little details. It's gonna look nice, it's gonna look neat and tidy. And if you have a lot of things that are just stored up top, then get bins and put all those little things inside bins. It's gonna help you when you're packing to move anyway. And next, brighten it up. Yes, get a nice, bright light bulb in there, or if the light fixture is old and outdated, go ahead and replace it. That bright bulb is going to instantly make the space feel a lot bigger. When buyers open up a closet, they are automatically looking to see if all of their items are going to fit in there. They're not looking at your organization. Bottom line is, save your money. Forget the closet system, focus on decluttering and staging. That alone will make your closets feel a lot bigger and more appealing to buyers. Now we're at the bathrooms, and bathrooms can be a huge selling point. And here's where sellers go wrong, thinking that they need to do a major remodel to the bathroom just to sell the house. I have done bathroom remodels, and I know that they can easily cost $10,000 to $20,000. Here's a smarter move. Focus on small, high impact updates. First thing I always do is I focus on paint. Start with fresh paint on the walls. Pick a light neutral color, and it's going to automatically feel bright and clean. Next, swap out the fixtures, like the shower head that's got all that crust in there. Come on, you know the one I'm talking about. Go ahead and change that out. While you're at it, go ahead and change the faucets and the hardware on the cabinets. Make sure to deep clean your mirrors, your glass, and your tile until they shine. And this last one is the one that many people don't want to deal with, and that is grout and caulk. If your grout and caulk look amazing, then just go ahead and leave it. But if it doesn't, and you know what I'm talking about, then have somebody come in there and re-caulk and re-grout. It is a pain, but it's a lot less expensive than a bathroom remodel. Now, if your bathroom has serious issues, like a leaking shower, cracked tiles, or water damage, you're going to need to repair those. Buyers don't want hidden issues, but you don't automatically have to jump to a full remodel either. Remember, buyers want a clean, functional, and move-in ready bathroom. My bottom line is skip the gut job. Focus on small updates that's going to give you the biggest return without draining your wallet. Last but not least, we're at the doors. A lot of sellers think that they need to replace all the interior and the exterior doors to impress the buyers. But here's the truth. A brand new door rarely makes or breaks a sale. Honestly, when a buyer is seeing 10 or 20 homes, they couldn't even tell you what the front door of the house looked like. But I will tell you what does make a difference, and that is a door that is clean, it opens properly, it doesn't get stuck, it doesn't make loud creaky noises, and it feels solid. Here's what I would recommend you do instead. Paint them. Yes, a fresh coat of paint can make that door look amazing. Next, update the hardware. New knobs and hinges are inexpensive and give it a nice modern look. Now it's time to check the function of the door. Make sure that it opens and closes properly and isn't squeaking. These are going to be the little things buyers are going to notice. I recently represented a seller in the sale of their home, and the buyer with the entire inspection report took issue with two things. One was the door in the hallway did not close properly, and the other is that the pool door did not close fast enough. So please hear me when I tell you it's the little things, it's the details. Now, if your door is cracked, if it's damaged, if it doesn't close properly, or you've taken an interior door and you've put it on an exterior doorway, then yes, you are going to need to take care of that. The bottom line is you don't have to swap out every single door in your home. A little paint, some polish, and some new hardware is going to go a very long way. And it's going to save you hundreds, if not thousands of dollars. I understand that buyers are picky right now, but you do not have to spend thousands of dollars into every upgrade just to sell your home. The sellers that I work with that are focused on maintenance, presentation, and the right pricing strategy, they're the ones that are getting their home sold. If you live in the Gainesville or Ocala area and you're thinking about selling or buying, then I would love to work with you. And if you live anywhere else in the United States, which you probably do, then I would love to help you get an agent in your area that's going to help you get your home sold. Click the link in the description below and let's get connected. And if you found value in this video, please like and subscribe. I am trying to get to 100,000 people, and since I'm not even at 3,000, I got a long way to go, but I'm hoping that you can help me get there. Thanks, and I'll see you in the next video.